Meet John. John is 34 years old. He has a decent job, a slightly unreliable car, and what his doctor cheerfully described as a pretty standard anxiety profile. John is not a drug addict. John has never done anything particularly reckless. He doesn't speed. He reads the terms and conditions. He once returned a shopping cart in the rain without being asked, and yet somehow over the course of about 8 years, John managed to personally encounter 4 of the 5 most addictive substances ever studied by science. The 5th one he encountered last Tuesday. This is his story. And also somehow a neuroscience documentary. The science bit John didn't ask for. Think of dopamine as your brain's reward text message. Something good happens, the message fires, your brain reads it, feels great, and moves on. Every substance on this list does one thing. It hijacks that message system. It floods the reward circuit with dopamine, anywhere from 2 to 20 times more than any natural experience could produce. And your brain, the most sophisticated object in the known universe, looks at that and thinks, I don't know what that was, but we are doing it again immediately. The more it happens, the more your brain compensates. It produces less dopamine naturally. It reduces the number of receptors available to feel it. Until normal life, food, friends, sunlight, a really good sandwich, stops registering properly. The drug stops being something you want. It becomes something you need just to feel like yourself. That's the trap. John walked into it wearing clean socks and good intentions. Let's watch. Here's what makes cocaine uniquely brutal. New research suggests that when measuring persistent drug memory, the deep compulsive imprint a substance leaves, cocaine may be the most powerful of any illegal drug. The brain doesn't just want it again, it remembers it with unusual force. The first experience leaves a mark, and the rest of the addiction is the brain relentlessly chasing that original memory. John flew home from the conference. He spent the entire flight thinking about the after-party. He told himself it was a one-time thing. His brain had already filed it somewhere it does not delete things from. Substance number 2. Benzodiazepines. John just couldn't sleep. This one wasn't John's fault at all. He'd like to be very clear about that. At 31, John's anxiety got worse. He stopped sleeping properly. He'd lie awake at 3 a.m., mind running, heart doing something unusual. He went to his doctor. His doctor prescribed a small white pill. Millions of people take it. It'll take the edge off. It did take the edge off. It took the edge off magnificently. Here's what it was doing. Benzodiazepines work by amplifying GABA, the same braking system alcohol hits but more targeted, more precise. The calm was real. The relief was genuine. For the first time in months, John slept. He took the pill every night for 6 months, following instructions, being responsible. His brain, meanwhile, was doing what brains do. It adapted. The natural GABA system weakened. The drug became load-bearing. One night, John ran out of pills. The pharmacy was closed. He figured he'd just skip one night. He did not sleep. He didn't sleep the next night either, or the night after. His hands had a faint tremor. His heart was doing the unusual thing again, but louder. He didn't know it yet, but he was in withdrawal. Benzodiazepine withdrawal can be just as dangerous as alcohol withdrawal. Seizures, hallucinations, severe psychological destabilization, all from a pill a friendly doctor prescribed. No dark alley, no dramatic first decision, just a blister pack, a prescription, and a brain that had been quietly reorganizing itself. John sat on the edge of his bed at 3 a.m., sweating through his shirt. He was not, he reminded himself, a drug addict. He was a patient. His brain found this distinction deeply uninteresting. Substance number 1, heroin and fentanyl. John just read the research. John did not try heroin. He researched it. Dr. David Nutt's framework gave heroin a perfect score. Here's the mechanism. Opioids bind to receptors deep in the midbrain. They switch off neurons responsible for turning off the brain's pleasure centers. Most drugs turn the pleasure up. Opioids disable the off switch entirely. The result is a wave of euphoria no natural experience can replicate. The brain has no framework for it. The lethal dose of heroin is only 5 times greater than the dose that produces a high. Then came fentanyl. Fentanyl is 50 to 100 times more potent than heroin. Researchers discovered fentanyl addiction operates through 2 separate brain circuits. One drives pleasure,
The other drives withdrawal. These circuits are independent. The drug doesn't just reward you for using it, it punishes you for stopping. John sat very still for a long time. He thought about the cigarette. He thought about the bottle of wine. He thought about the conference after-party. He thought about the small white pill. Here's what the science keeps arriving at. Every substance on this list hijacks the same circuit. Normal life goes flat. And the substances doing this, they're not all in dark alleys. John wasn't reckless. He wasn't weak. Because the list isn't really a ranking of bad people. It's a map of the brain's vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities built into every human brain. The most important thing John learned: the trap doesn't require you to be reckless to walk into it. It just requires you to be human.